Hi everybody, sanibonani. Welcome to my channel. Igama lami nguNtando Mdletshe, and on this channel siyasibuka ama reality shows ethu alla eMzansi. Bese sizala sokhuluma ngawo lama shows, siyaphinda ke futhi sikhulume ngama celebrities kanye nama YouTubers ethu alla eMzansi. If it is your first time joining me today, I don't know where you've been, but we do have a subscribe button langezansi if you are sure you want to join this family. Also, there is a join button for those who have been around and they think it's time to join the membership. There is a thanks button if you want to bonga channel, and there are adverts on this video. There are so many ways to support this channel. And also, you guys, before you even watch this review, because you know it's going to be it, okay, just like the video, and we appreciate it so much when you guys interact with us in the comment section, or interact with me. Why do I always say us? Okay. Anyway, you guys, today finally we do the full review of Real Housewives of Durban. You guys, I'm sorry that the episode is late this week, but I just wanted to do a proper job for you guys so that you can enjoy it. Okay, so you guys, of course, everybody's storyline this season is Slee and Nonku's friendship. Okay, that friendship is everybody's storylines. Okay, people are forgetting that we need to see their own lives. They're talking about this friendship, so it continues. Okay, so the first scene, of course, it was scene ka JoJo no Maria. You guys, I actually had forgotten ukuthi Maria no JoJo are friends. I had forgotten ukuthi the reason Maria is even on Real Housewives, she was brought on by JoJo, because of course JoJo and Noko are the bestest of best friends. Bestest of besties. Okay, so we even forget because they're actually friends with other people. But I really like a friendship got JoJo no Maria. It's a cute friendship. They were looking cute today, with their cute outfits, the crop tops and the short skirts, you know. So Maria comes to visit to JoJo, and JoJo says ukuthi she wants to show Maria her mother's house. It was the funniest scene for me because when JoJo says ukuthi she wants to show Maria her mother's house, I'm like, oh, okay, we get to see her parents again, possibly, you know, and we get to see the house. Now, you guys, I think the last season she had said that they were building a house for them, or they were looking for a house for them. I guess now it's complete if it was being built, or they found it if they were looking for it. But it's in, like, it looks like it's in the same estate where her house is, but she says partly she just wants to show off her new golf carts, so they drive around. I'm thinking they're going to the house. So imagine telling your friend, Chomi, I'm going to show you my mother's house. Okay, asamsobona indlu kamama. You're thinking it's okay, nizongena nihlale phansi niphuziti. She shows you around. I know they drive around, and then JoJo, they stand there on the road, and she's like, yeah, there is my mother's house, you know. Na indlu kamama. I'm like, okay, so you're not going in? No, they didn't go in. I'm like, why did she even say, you know, I want to show you my mother's house? She should have just said, let's drive around in my new golf cart. And then when they passed the mother's house, and then she should have said, you know, there is my mother's house. Because they were not there to see the mother's house. They did not see the mother's house. Okay, they saw it at a distance. Anyway, they drive around going to the lake. Guys, where they live, it's beautiful, okay? I don't want to lie. It's things that I like to see on Real Housewives. It's very inspirational, you know. It's beautiful. So they go by the lake. Maria is like, listen, this is a place where I will get my blankets, get a book. It has that feel. I also felt like that. You know, it's a place where you go read a book and just chill. Oh, George is like, go, Connie, JoJo is not serious about anything, okay? Like, not design. Anyway, I think she has mentioned before that she doesn't really read. And you guys, but it was just cute. It was a cute like friends spending time together. It was a cute scene that they shot, but I just thought that it was funny that she was saying they're going to see the mother's house, but they saw it at the distance, never went in, never even came close to, you know, the house. Okay. That was it, you guys, when it came to that scene. Now, you guys, this is the thing that with my understanding of the next scene, because the next one, it was Usani kanye Umbali sort of having a talk, which is one, I mean, it's my second best scene in this episode. The other scene I'm still going to talk about, that was my favorite. I actually did post about it in the community post. You guys, please check out our community posts. We're having fun there. Don't take it too seriously. It's just for us to interact, you guys, outside of the videos. Okay, so Usani had called Umbali. Guys, if I ever say his name instead of Sane, I'm just mixing things up. Usani called Umbali for a sit down, you guys. This is what I felt like is happening with Usani. I feel like, you guys, the cast members are not liking Usani, okay, because she's coming with this thing, you know. She's been watching the show, you guys, and apparently she has been approached before to do the show a number of times. So I think that she knew that at some point she was going to get to do the show. And if you are going to do the show, people that come on the show and they say, I've never even watched the show, you lie, okay? You lie. You don't go to an interview somewhere and you haven't researched the company. You know, they do the research. So she had watched the show. She knows everybody's business. Noko, I feel like she's somebody that gets around when it comes to KZN. You know, she goes to events. She is known, a person will know her from the gym, know her from this event and that event, women empowerment, whatever. Usani, yes, Usani does women empowerment events, okay? So I feel like the cast members are not liking her because obviously her intro was not a pleasant one. But I feel like the producers want her because obviously she's bringing something that none of them are bringing to the show, okay? So I think that they want to find a way for the group to come around and accept her. And one thing on a reality show that cast members can get rid of another cast member is them saying, listen, I don't want to shoot with this person. And if every single member of the cast says, I don't want to shoot with this person, at some point the producers will not have a choice but to get rid of this person, because what scenes are they going to shoot if none of the cast members want to shoot with her? Because then what is the point? You know, they're supposed to interact with each other, build relationships with each other, fight with each other. So how are they going to do that if nobody wants to shoot with her? And I think that they are at that point, and they were trying to find a person that has a soft spot for her, a person that Usani hasn't offended, that can sit down with her and try and see if they can find a way to get her back to the group, okay? Now, you guys, Umbali was like an obvious choice. She already has an issue with Slee. She has an issue with Annie. She has an issue with Nonku because at the party, the doves are upset. And JoJo won't like Usani because, of course, JoJo doesn't like anybody that doesn't like Nonku. So Suresha left the event because of Usani. Okay, Maria is another one that is okay with Usani. So they found Umbali. I like the maturity Umbali, okay? Because last episode, I felt like, okay, I'm starting to feel like, why is she around? Because I need her to, interact a little bit more with the cast members. Even if they are there and they are talking, she can't just sit there and be quiet, because we don't want another Makumalo, okay? We had Makumalo, we loved her, we said goodbye to her. So if you are going to come and be Makumalo, we are going to say goodbye to you too, okay? So I was starting to feel like that when it came to her, and I like the sit down. So they're sitting down, and Usani is saying she wants to find out what's happening with the ladies because she hasn't seen them in a while, and they are not, I guess they're not contacting her or inviting her anywhere. She just wants to find out, do they like her or not? I mean, Sane, of course they don't like you. That's not a question that needs an answer. Of course they don't like you. However, you guys, I really did like how Umbali talked to Usani. Listen, you know what you did. There was not a way to speak to another woman. And the thing that you have to understand about these women is that they are not here to understand you. So even if the tantrums that you are throwing and the bombs that you are throwing is because of who you are and the things that you have gone through in your life, these women are not here to understand you. So if you are going to come to the group to interact with a group, you have to fix yourself so that you behave in a way that a group will be able to accept you in a group, you know. They do ask her in the direct session, I think they had asked her, Usani, does she think that she needs to apologize to the lady? She said she doesn't know anybody an apology. However, in the last episode, I think she did say that with Ulondi London, she felt like her delivery was wrong. However, she feels like everything she said there was true. She was offering a trip to Bali, so I was like, okay, she must be sorry, but she doesn't feel like she wants to apologize to the ladies. So I guess when she says she doesn't feel like she owes the ladies an apology, she is excluding Londi London, because obviously with Londi London, she did say that she felt like her delivery was wrong. Okay. Umbali also said she feels like Usani needs, you know, help. Maybe they could go, I don't know, to seek counseling. I thought she was referring to that, or life coach, I don't know, but they can go together because she feels like she is needing help. Guys, Usani does get emotional during that scene, but I wasn't sure about how genuine her emotions are for that scene, because in the diary session, she does seem like she just wouldn't be bothered. You know, she's not bothered by anything, but in the scene, she really was emotional. I feel like Umbali didn't come to attack Usani. She really wants her to change certain things so that she can come around in the group, but she does say, one thing that she has learned about Usani is that she is rude. You know, she feels like she's rude, you know, but at the same time, the sit down was a kind one, you guys. It was very kind hearted. I feel like it's somebody that really wants her to fix things so that she can come around in a group. Okay. And we also did find out in this scene that Umbali does know Usani. Like I say, you guys, it's like she's somebody that gets around, I guess, in KZN, but even outside of KZN, I guess, because she manages artists. So, yes, you guys, I love that scene. This scene made me fall in love with Umbali, okay? And I hope she's going to get... she's going to continue that way. I just want her to participate more, you guys. I don't want her to only go to events and sit downs where she is invited. She needs to also invite people. Listen, come, let's hang out, you know, because I'm seeing similarities with her and Umakumalo, but I feel like she's got something to offer that is different, Umbali. So I want her to be able to stay, but this is a season to show the producers that, you know, I'm worth it. So yes, I love this scene. It really was one of my favorite when it came to this episode. Now, the next one is my ultimate favorite scene this episode, okay? One thing I like, you guys, is when a cast member really shoots a scene that show you that, listen, I am South African, okay? Because I am South African, I am African, everything, okay? This is what I would say, even with the franchises, people would say that they don't like Abo Lagos, Abo Nairobi, Abo Ban, and I was like, but the one thing about those franchises is that they make sure, you know, when you are shooting a scene with or an episode with a Nigerian, they are very proud of who they are. They will shoot scenes that will show you who they are, even though they will show you the glitz and the glamour. Their outfits alone will just say, this is a Nigerian sister, okay? So I like scenes that remind people we are in South Africa, you know. So I see Pela, you know, because she goes to this house, Slee, to see her spiritual father, Babu Mzulwini, and it's just a normal house. I feel like, okay, so we at home, you know, but I love seeing that, you know. She gets inside, it's a normal house with, you know, also for Njela, you know, also for Basekaya, you know, I liked seeing that. So she goes to see her spiritual guide, I guess, just to get some advice, because she's having really a hard time getting along with Jojo and Nonku. I would say that because she's not having issues with everybody, it's just Jojo and Nonku. And she gets there, they pray. I like the sitting, the setting there, the candles. There was Ukamba there, and they bent Ilokuzani Pepo Okambeni, and you know, it was really like, I like this scene. You know, this is what I wanna see. You know, now and then when I watch Ntando something that reminds me, because this is our home franchise. Okay, so she says she's having a struggle because she's having conflict with the ladies, but the biggest challenge is that she finds herself wanting to lay hands on somebody. Okay, and I like how he went about advising her to say, listen, uhamba nabantu abadala, uma ngabe une gift vele, you are going to have challenges in your journey. And what you must be careful of is that when you get angry, not only do you get angry when, but the abantu hamba nabo, they also get angry. Guys, those who don't understand Zulu, sometimes there's things that you cannot explain, you know, in English, or I fail to explain in English. And to those who are walking the journey with you might get angry. So if you raise your hand on somebody, it's like, it's not just you hitting them. You might just hit them like just a slap, and they, you know, they fall on they drop on the floor and die. Because when you get angry, the underground gang get angry with you. So when you slap them, if you have 20 underground gang walking with you, one slap is 20 slaps, and the person has died. And it's just the thing that he said that I really, really laughed, which I think I'm going to use it in my life. So she says, ungayilwi impi engenasixoxo. You know, I hated that they did not interpret it correctly with their subtitles, because they wrote in their subtitles, do not fight fights that are what's not worth it, that don't make sense. Yeah, they said do not fight fights that do not make sense, and I was like, that's not what it means. I was like, nah, that's not what this man said. What he said was that do not fight fights that do not have a reward. You know, if you know, when you're going to fight with someone, okay, let's say I fight this fight and I win, what am I going to get? Okay, what's going to be my profit, my gain here? That's what he meant. You go, don't fight, I'm a fighter and a reward, you know. So, and she says, sometimes you just have to be the one to apologize first. You know, at the end of the day, two men we are caught, but two men we are caught. And yes, that's what she said. So I guess he's trying to say, okay, you might be convinced that you are not all the way wrong, but sometimes it's a better idea to just apologize first and move on from the situation and leave that person in that situation. I love that spiritual leader. I hope that we are going to see more of him, you guys. So I love that she's going there to sort of calm herself down and just to also get back to herself. I really feel like Slee is having a difficult challenge for somebody that is here for the first season. I feel like Abo Maria, they are just cruising through the the season, and now she's like really like having a hard time, you know, about Umbali and all of that. And I think the reason is because she came in through Nonku. The next scene was just a useless scene of Jojo. Husband is coming back from home and from work. He's sitting down. He says he's tired. She's talking about the same thing that she has spoken about 20,000 and 50,000 times. Listen, I'm related to Zuma, so you know, reading numbers is not my thing. So I'm like, hi wena, your husband is coming back from work. You know. Once again, she wants Kelvin to clarify. Kelvin is like, I told you, she came to me, she said this, and then I said this, and then Nonku came, and then Nonku made an assumption. You know what I like about this thing is that Jojo always conveniently forgets to go to Kelvin when he tells the story. Always states, when Nonku came, she assumed this is what was being said. She forgets that the only thing that she remembers is Slee said this. You guys listen, to this day I still don't know how that conversation went. I know the producers sometimes they play the cast members because they can let the cast member just lie throughout the whole season, but and then at the reunion when they're discussing that segment, and then the cast member is like, I never said that, and then they just boom, the clip just all of a sudden appears, boom. And then it proves you actually did say that. or the person is like, you never said that. You know, they just did it with Potomac, because the whole time they are saying that Candace's husband has been treating people in an uncomfortable way or whatever. And then while they are discussing that, they keep showing the clips that he never did that. And someone is saying he was looking at me a certain way. They show a clip that he didn't. Sometimes they do that. Sometimes they wait until the reunion and they show you lied. Okay, that's not what happened. So I don't know, you guys, if this is at all on camera, because if it was, it really would clarify things. So at this point, I don't know, you guys, because Slee says the conversation was started by Kelvin. But she also is not saying go to Kelvin meant any harm in starting a conversation. Kelvin was like, so who are you married to? And then the conversation went into her being single and him wanting to find her a man. But then, you know, we are not clear, you guys. Something was said, okay? The two people know what was said. It is Slee, it is Kelvin, but they are not telling the same story. So to this day, I still don't know, you guys. So we will see, you guys, if they do clarify this at the reunion. But in this time, they just wasted our data by, you know, showing us Jojo, talking to Kelvin once again about the same issue. I just didn't see the point, because of course she doesn't want to show us other things that she does with her life. Okay, anyway, you guys, and then Nonku goes to see a counselor, Usia. This is what I think about Usia, guys. Nonku never sees Usia outside of the show. Nonku only sees Usia when she's shooting the show. That woman doesn't go see no life coach, no counselor when they're not shooting the show. Because how come Sia doesn't know that you have been celibate for the whole year? How come he doesn't know? How come he doesn't know you have a man now? How come he doesn't know all that? This man last saw you in season 2. You hear playing with us. You say, I know when I'm struggling, I usually go and see somebody. You don't. You only see them to shoot the scenes of the show. I hope they're paying Sia now, because now he's part of the show. Okay, so he's talking about the fact that okay, he was celibate, now he's not celibate because he has found a man and whatever. And then the guy's like, really? How long has it been? 2 months? 2 months? Huh? Hi, bo. Anyway, you guys, I guess what she's saying, she feels like the guy is too much on her. She would like to get, some space and all of that. I hate talking about this guy, because I feel like for me, it's like he is, giving so many red flags. And I feel like I really wanted Nonku to find somebody, because guys, since season 1, Nonku has been looking for love. So I wanted her to find love. So, but this guy is not giving me that thing. I can be happy with Nonku and say, okay, finally she has found somebody. I want this guy to not be an ex-convict. I don't know. I want that thing to not be true, because honestly, if he is, then I don't understand her introducing her to the kids. So the conversations about him for me are just not. I don't like them, because I'm like, why did it have to be this guy? Why couldn't it be a nice and nice? Even Robert Mara would have been better than much better, in fact, than this guy. But it's him. So then the next one, Suresha and Maria, finally they get to spend time together, and the queens, okay? So I thought we were going to have the backtail of the queens. I was like, these people have robbed us now. Why are they getting along? Because we were supposed to be queen versus queen. Nothing. Anyway, you guys, I really honestly feel like it wasn't even a conflict, it was a misunderstanding, because these people had never spent time together. They didn't know each other. So Maria was upset that she wasn't invited to Suresha's event. But Maria, Nami, I wasn't invited, Jay. And you know why I wasn't invited? Because I don't know Suresha, so Suresha didn't know you. So she did not invite you. She took it personal, you guys. But they have a nice sit down, and it really shows what it was just a misunderstanding. I don't know that they are becoming real friends, but I know that Suresha is very, very strategic this season. Okay, she is going to choose people in this group that are going to be loyal to her, and that she's going to be loyal to, and she has chosen them, you guys, because if you look at the photos that were published at her husband's birthday party, she is with Annie, she is with Slee, she is with Maria. Who's the other one? Umbali, was she there? Yeah. Jojo and Nonku are not there. Sane is not there. Okay, so she's already basically decided who her group is. Okay, so I don't know if it's partly that thing, or she's looking for people that are going to be loyal to her and her doing the same, but not necessarily genuine friendships. And so they sit down to talk. I know Maria felt like she needed to tell us, sorry, she got to listen. I know Sane. For me, it's not the first time meeting her. I know her from the events. I've been her MC at one of her women empowerment events. Like I say, you guys, believe it or not, Usani does women empowerment events. Okay, believe it. If you don't want to believe it, back your heart to believe it. Believe it. Is it here or here? The belief. I don't know, you guys, but believe it, because I was like, hey, Sunday empowering women. Okay. We get it. Okay. Anyway, you guys, she says that they know. So she felt like Suresha needs to know that. In me getting along with Usani, I'm not really betraying you, but I know this woman. And she's trying to say, listen, I want to give her a chance, for her to come around and see if we can get her along. Okay. They also get to talk about, Suresha also get to ask Maria, okay, Maria, I was talking to you about you to somebody, and they said that you have another name. And I was like, Suresha, just tell the truth. You were not talking to somebody about her. You actually asked somebody to do a research on Maria, because that is what housewives do. They do research on the other housewives, so that should the housewife take you at one point, you are like, hey, I know everything about you. Okay, I know everything about you, your grandmother, your dog, your gardener, everything. So Risha has a file on Maria. Okay, so she says, because somebody said that they know you and you have a different name, and Maria is like, yeah, I have a different name. I married a Greek guy. According to the Greek, you get baptized, they give you a new name, boom, I am Maria. No big deal. Okay. And I was like, hey, when I saw Risha, we're trying to be shady here about Maria. Anyway, you guys, they get to discuss Usani, and then they get to discuss Slee and Slee. Did they discuss Slee? No, they don't. There is another scene. Anyway, it was nice, you guys. Suresha had a nice gift for Maria, and but they don't show us what the gift is. I was curious. It was something that's small, but it's probably something very expensive with Suresha. Suresha just can't be giving you 15 rand chocolate here. She owns the country of KZN. She is the vice president of KZN. Her husband is the president of KZN, and she is the vice president. So she can't be giving small. Maybe it's a tender. What here? Tender document there to say you are giving a tender, even though you did not tender. You never know with the rich people of KZN. Okay. This is another scene that we could have done without, okay? We could have done without this one. But I see what Annie is trying to do, you guys. And also, I just want to say, I'm one of those people that did not like Annie. But my reason for not liking Annie was that she's mean, she looks down on people, she's rude. And I mean, she is making efforts, you guys, to be different this season. And I have to recognize that. And I will tell you about it when they do a scene with JoJo and Noko, how I liked Annie. I will confess, okay, where's the Bible? I need to confess and say, I am just starting to have a soft spot for Annie. Because anybody, you guys, that can watch themselves on TV behaving in not so good way, and then go back and say, listen, I didn't like that about myself. I don't like this feedback that I'm getting from people about how mean I am and all of that. Let me change some things. Anybody that does that, you guys, we have to give credit there. And also just the fact that we were saying that we don't see a lot of her and her family and her husband. And this season, she really is giving us her husband. Her husband is really shooting some scenes, you guys. So we have to recognize that she's giving us something. She's not going as deep as we would want her to, but she's giving us something. I appreciate that, you guys. I really, really do. Okay. So even her husband, I was starting to be like this episode. Okay, no man, the guru, we judged you too early, maybe. Okay, I will admit. Listen, guys, team, Auntie Annie, I might be leaving you behind. I didn't commit. I didn't sign a contract. Okay. So I might actually be liking Annie. Just a tiny little bit, because I really feel like she is making an effort. But more than that, you guys, I feel like that last scene that they shot with her husband, when they were talking about her eye, I feel like he looked like a supportive husband, you guys. I mean, he said all the right things that the husband would say. And in the scene as well, he sits down because she's organized a date at home, ordered some food. She's sitting down, they're having a conversation. Of course, it's weird. The cameras are there, but I was like, Takuru is a loving husband, okay? He might also be loving to the side pieces that people are talking about that I don't know about, but he's loving but he's loving to his wife. I was like, I'm starting to love Takuru. Okay, I'm changing my mind. Hi guys, I'm changing my mind. Okay, I'm starting to love him. So I love that scene. We could have done without it, but I see what Annie's trying to do. Okay, Annie's trying to bring us back and say, listen, there's the other side of me. She's working hard this season to do that. Okay, I love her strategy. Okay, and then the next one, Maria, Slee, and Suresha are going out, you guys, for drinks. And right when they sit, it felt like, let me say that because it might not be what happened, it felt like the minutes they sit down, Slee says, guys, how is a friendship with George? How is Jojo as a friend? That's what she said. I say it feels like that, you guys, because of course everything is edited. So it might have been that they talk about other things and then they sit down and then she talks about Jojo. But they just cut to that point where she talks about Jojo. So it felt like that. How is a friendship with Jojo? It did not feel like she has any bad intentions in that, because she does say in the diary session, listen, I know that everything that I say here about Jojo is going to go back to Jojo because Maria and Jojo are friends. But I felt like she wants to get to know, Nina, how are you friends with somebody that is that crazy, Crazy meaning Jojo. Anyway, you guys, she explains to them she did have a meeting with Jojo and Noko, and she was like, you know what, I'm done with you guys. Obviously, we don't like each other. It's okay with me. We are done, okay? And so as they're talking, you guys, they get to a point where they make a conclusion, Maria and Suresha, that they feel like Noko is a problem. I was trying to not think this whole thing had anything to do with race, but I felt like, how did we move from Jojo being a problem to Nonku being a problem now? Because the person that has been going around delivering news, the bone collector, one viewer said, okay, just like we had Shire in Real Housewives of Atlanta, we have Jojo. Jojo will deliver the bone, okay? To everybody, and she doesn't want people to get along, but they make a conclusion that Nonku is the problem. And maybe because I don't like Jojo this season, I wanted the problem to be Jojo so much that I don't see Nonku as a problem as such. Maybe she is a problem, but not as much as Jojo. But they are saying the problem is Nonku, because how do you introduce your friend to somebody and say, this is my friend, by the way, she doesn't like you? Yes. So now they're saying that she influenced how Jojo feels about Slee because of what she said to Jojo. So they're asking Slee, when do you feel like Nonku influences Jojo? Slee is honest to say, no, they influence each other. And I feel like it's like that, you guys. So they feel like, Maria feels like it's Nonku because, of course, she's defending her friend, Jojo. Suresha, she feels like, yeah, Jojo is messy, Noko is messy, but Jojo might not be innocent. And she's asking Maria, so how are you going to feel if you find out Jojo Naye is in the mess? She says she will be disappointed because really is her friend. I'm starting to like Maria, you guys. I feel like she's honest and she's not pleasing people, because in that setting she could have just taken Isad lastly and do sorry and said, yeah, Nonku is a problem. She says Nonku is a problem, but I guess if Jojo is the one that is a problem, I would be disappointed as a friend. And she defended her friend, you guys, which was Jojo. I like that, even though I'm not really liking Jojo that much this season. So they make a decision that they need to meet with Jojo. Suresha didn't think initially it was a good idea because she feels like Jojo will deflect. No matter what they try to say, she will deflect, which is what really Jojo does, okay? So yes, you guys, and then the next scene was a scene that really for me was disappointing. To watch the three women doing what they did. It was Annie, Jojo, Nonku. They're going to Jojo's house by the pool because they really want to spend time together. Jojo is trying to bring Annie Nonku together. So they were just by the pool, chilling and all of that. And she hadn't told both of them because the other one is coming, So you guys, it was that scene. Honestly, for me, it was a Slee bashing session, and it was a very disappointing session. But these are the things that women do sometimes. We do things like that. Which is very disappointing. But it really was about them bashing Slee. It was about Jojo Nonku convincing Annie to not like Slee. They were telling Annie all of the negative things about Slee so that she cannot like Slee. Let me tell you the things that they said. So they said Slee is an ass kisser. She throws jabs. She makes comments on Nonku's kids. She plays a victim. She said she's done with Jojo and she's done with Nonku. She's jealous of their friendship and all of the negative things. Okay, I think the whole purpose of that get together was to get Annie to not like Slee. But I liked what Annie did. I told you guys that those who do not like Annie, I am sorry, you guys, but I am giving you in notice. I might be leaving that employment of not liking Annie, because she says she listens to them and she's like, oh, okay, that's what happened. Okay, they tell her. She even said that she was going to lay hands on Jojo and all of that, all negative stuff. And then at the end, what did Annie say? She's like, I wouldn't really want to judge anybody because anybody that I don't know, I will have to get to know her for me to make a decision. I'm like, yes, Annie. Because they wanted Annie to walk out of there to be like, oh, I don't like Slee, but Annie's like, yeah, so guys, but I haven't really had that kind of interaction with Slee, but so I'll wait and see how does it go. Okay. I like that about Annie, you guys. I told you go to Annie Yazama this season. Yazama Annie, okay, so we have to give her credit for that. And then, you guys, it was the scene that I really just like. My heart was like beating fast. Okay, so then this is like a 43-year-old heart, so we have to be very, very careful. We have to be careful what we put this heart through, because it's been through a lot. Okay. I was having heart palpitations, I was sweating, and I'm like, Nonku, like, guys, Nonku goes ahead with the introduction of the kids to this man and to the mother and the friend, because they're having dinner at Nonku's house. He's coming around with his daughter, very cute, pretty young lady, okay, whom they say looks like Nonku's daughter. I didn't see it, you guys, but they're there to introduce each other. The boys were also there because Nonku has Unotile and 2 boys. Nonku's friend was there, and he comes here with his daughter. They sit down for was it dinner or lunch? I was like, yo, Nonku, like, honestly, like an ex-convict, not just convicts of sexual crimes, allegedly. You are introducing that, like, that's your decision, girl. Like, that's your decision. Like, that is the decision that you made, that you are going to introduce him to your kids. I was like, I've never wanted something to be untrue as much as in the of this guy being arrested for that kind of crime. I want it to not be true, because Nonku has introduced him to her kids. So I want it to be a lie now. I really do want it to be a lie, because otherwise, hi Nonku, okay, obviously, okay, they have dinner and the friend asks him, what does he do? And he says he's hustling. I was like, seems right will say he works at work. That's what he says. He says, I work at work, Now, I mean, even if you say you are hustling, how are you hustling? you have some investments, property investments. I don't know, you guys, anything. If you are hustling with something. And what is that thing? And then Jenna, chiki somewhere, construction. And I'm like, now you're doing a construction because Noko is doing construction. How interesting is that? Yeah, how interesting. Oh, you do a construction. I'm like, hey guys, there's no hustle out there that does not have a name. No hustle that doesn't have, a word that you can put to it. Hey, what? I sell bottles on the street, okay? I sell more fire, I sell booze, more fire. Whenever there is a hustle, there's many kinds of hustles, but every hustle has, you can explain what the hustle is. I didn't want to say, and when they were looking at him like, what do you mean hustle? He was like, construction. Hi guys, I hope this guy really is being honest. Then he does tell them that he's been to jail, but he's talking as if he was convicted of something that he didn't do, and we're like, okay. I'm waiting for a man, honestly, that will be arrested for such a crime and come back and say, yes, I did it. I did it. This is what happened, and this is where I am today. Every man that is convicted of such a crime, they always say that they were wrongly convicted. Yeah, I did that. Nobody. So it's very hard to just believe, just because somebody said that they never did it, that they never did. Okay? Wrongfully what? So we don't know, you guys. But I know that as a mom, if I'm trying to date somebody and they say, I would rather be safe, even if I believe that their story is true, that they did not do it. I would rather just be safe and be like, hey, listen here, dude. Being a mom comes first, and I don't think that I can do that. So, but unesibindi is cool. Now he's promising the mother that he's going to buy the mother the car and all of that. And then when they get married, uzoyakohlala ekhaya. Unonku uthi kukhona mina in the village. Me and the village. Me and the village. Inkatha Freedom Party and ANC. In case you remember in the days, in case in Inkatha and ANC. Never. That's what Noko said. Because me and the village. Not even during apartheid. Never do it. Hey, I don't know how it's gonna work, because this guy sounds like he's sort of controlling from what Noko says, and him wanting to get married. Usani, when he lost his parent very early on in his life and he became a father to his siblings, I guess Noko is about to be a mother not only to his kids but to his siblings too. Interesting, you guys. Anyway, you guys, that was the episode for today. Like I said, my favorite scenes was the spiritual guide, Slee, and also Umbali, and the other stuff is like, okay, just for us to be entertained. Anyway, you guys, I really am loving this season. I do not want to lie. At this point, I'm very happy with the producer's choice of the cast members that they have added this season. I do want Usani to find a way to come back to the group, because I think she lights fire under the asses, and I'm loving it. Okay. But bayahlala esihlalweni kanti Usani ubeke amalahla bavele bashize ngiyayithanda leyo nto leyo. So I really hope that they find a way to bring Usani back to the group. Anyway, you guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Please like it before Pumegona. Share it with your friends or with your family, and even with strangers. Ntando kakhulu.